Good morning everybody and welcome to our speech day of 2021. This time last year I stood here and talked about the best of times and the worst of times. The opening paragraph of Charles Dickens's novel A Tale of Two Cities. It tells of a time of despair and suffering on the one hand and joy and hope on the other. The hope, of course, was that we would be back together in September as normal. Well, of course, that didn't quite work out, did it? So this year, we've seen Lockdown Part 2, the sequel. Lockdown Returns. Lockdown Strikes Back, for those of you who are Star Wars fans. Or maybe even The Return of the Mask. I could go on, but you know what I mean. It's been another desperately trying year for everybody, and we experienced one of the longest winters we've ever seen as we spent the dark of January and February in lockdown. Now, as many of you will know, my teaching journey started as a teacher of geography, sharing my passion for the great outdoors, and a passion that remains strongly within me. There have been many occasions this year when I, like you, I'm sure, have found comfort and solace in the outdoors. The peace and tranquility that one finds there amongst the chaos and confusion of the pandemic. It has also provided a significant analogy for me in the form of a magnificent mountain. Having enjoyed the struggle of climbing some of the most wonderful peaks of the UK and beyond, I've kept this feeling with me during the most trying of years and shared it on a regular basis with our children. Imagine, I've said to them before, that you are standing at the foot of a majestic mountain. You glance towards the peak, and if you can see it, it looks a little bit crazy and impossible. And it's very easy to get that sense of feeling swamped or overwhelmed. When you start walking, you don't look at the top. You keep your head down. You keep your eyes on your feet so that you don't trip or fall. And when you want to look around or look towards the top, you stop intentionally. You take a minute or two to admire the view, to chat with your friends, to enjoy the moment and appreciate just how far you've come. When you start again, you put your head down and you march, and you march, and you march. Throughout this year and the challenges we have all faced, we've tried not to fixate on the impossible top or how you're going to get there, but look down at the next good step and consider what is the right next move. What is the right next move after that, and after that, and so on, and so on. There are so many routes to the top of that majestic mountain, and sometimes you have to change your original plan. But you keep climbing because you want to get to the top of that mountain. As Edmund Hillary, the famous mountaineer and first man to conquer that magnificent mountain of Everest, famously said, "It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves." But let's also not forget that scaling a mountain is much safer, it's certainly much more fun, and it's more achievable in the company of others. A constant message we have shared this year with our pupils, whether that's when they've been in school or whether that's when we've been learning remotely, has been to help each other, to support each other, to look after each other, to look out for each other. Never has that sense of team been more important. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much, said Helen Keller. And how right she was. So today, Even though we can't be here together as planned, we've had to take another route to the top of this mountain. I want to say a huge thank you to you all, because together we have climbed this most challenging of mountains and achieved something really quite remarkable as a result. You are all worthy prize winners, and I'm incredibly proud of every single one of our children. But let's take a moment or two to take that intentional stop and look how high we've climbed this year. Look how far you've come, and look at what you've achieved. Now look around at the people beside you that have helped make this possible. As I look around me, I recognise the most incredible of teams that have supported me in the climb this year. And I hope you will join me, everybody, in this most public of thank yous. I see the teachers that have once again mustered up the enthusiasm and energy to teach online and find a million new ways to make a topic interesting, exciting and understandable online. I see the teachers that have been so determined to give our children some fun and enjoyment at the end of this year with a range of activities, our campouts and trips. And I see the teachers that simply care so passionately about the well-being of your children. To them, it is a huge, huge thank you. I see our school business manager, Mrs. Karen Wishusen, and her team of incredible administrators who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring that everybody else is able to do what they need to do during this difficult of times. I see our school nurse, Lucy Andrews, who has found herself at the forefront of our fight against this virus. Never did she expect to be working like this as a school nurse. I see our bus drivers who continue to provide that friendly, homely journey to and from school, that real sense of safety and care as they move between those two destinations. I see our kitchen team who've had to work so hard to find new ways to ensure that we are fed and watered as safely as possible. I see our boarding staff who have kept our boarders smiling somehow during this most challenging of times. And I see our maintenance team who've had to be more flexible and adaptable than ever before. Thank you, thank you, thank you to every single one of you. My final thank you, of course, goes to the pupils and you, their families and their friends. Children, you have been amazing. Parents, so have you, in the support you have given us as a school during a time when you undoubtedly have been dealing with a myriad of challenges of your own. Thank you. At the end of an academic year, we always sadly have to say goodbye to some members of that incredible team. Firstly, in 1996, we saw one of the most formidable partnerships created. Not Sheringham and Shearer, who got us so close to Euro glory that year, but the even more formidable Young and Joiner. Mrs. Chris Young and Mrs. Fiona Joiner. Moyles Court's very own dynamic duo, feared across the New Forest for their sense of fun and the highly protective stance they took in defending their office and its many stationery items. After 25 years at Moyles Court and 2 years of going solo, Fiona has decided it's time to let go of the stapler. Fiona, on behalf of everybody here, the staff, the pupils, the parents, thank you. You have been a constant source of information enjoyment, and of course, the occasional little strop. It really won't be the same without you. We also say goodbye to another long-standing member of staff, Mrs. Leslie Lapthorne. Not just any old teacher of maths. Leslie has made a phenomenal impact on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pupils. It's a well-known fact that maths is simply one of those subjects that many children just find very difficult to grasp until they're taught by Leslie. Mrs. Lapthorne has that incredible ability of somehow making children understand the impossible. But it's not just that. Her contribution to the school has been immense over the last few years, particularly with regards to our productions and our musical theatre, but also to the many staff acts that we've seen in recent years. And behind the scenes, there is Leslie working hard to make sure that we have a bit of fun and we enjoy being here. Leslie, we wish you well in your retirement. I'm sure this won't be the last we see of you, and please do keep coming back to see us. But once again, thank you. We also say goodbye to Mrs. Nikki Collette. Now, interestingly, Nikki was my first appointment as head of Moyles, and what an amazing impact she has made on our school. Music has become the heartbeat of a lot of what we do, and Nikki, I'm enormously grateful for all that you have done for our pupils over the time that you've been here. You've seen today some of the wonderful pieces of instrumental work that you have initiated with your team of Perrys and wonderful teachers. So thank you from all of us and all of them for the hard work that you have done and that have given your time to Moyles. Thank you. We also say goodbye to Steve Berry. Steve, fountain of knowledge Berry, the man who seems to know so much about so many things. Steve, thank you once again for all that you have done, but particularly with regard to science and computer science and our IT support here during your time with us. It's been a difficult year, Steve, I know, and you, like many of us, have had to climb a particular mountain this year. But from all of us, thank you for everything, and we wish you a very peaceful retirement and plenty of time on your beloved bike. We also say goodbye to Hannah Curry in preschool. Hannah, if you don't know Hannah, you'll recognise her straight away. The smile and enthusiasm you see in Hannah's face every day is something we're going to miss enormously. Hannah, thank you very much for everything you've done, and congratulations on working so hard to complete your degree in early years education whilst you've been with us. And we wish you well as you embark on a new and exciting challenge. And finally, we also say goodbye to Lisa Mullen-Davis, my PA. Lisa, thank you for everything you've done, not just for me, but for the school in the time that you have been here. And again, on behalf of all of us here, we wish you well in your new, exciting adventure as well. Thank you. So it means we're saying hello and welcome to a few new members of staff in September. We say hello to Mrs. Nikki Thomas, who will be joining the maths department. We say hello to Mrs. Kath Papanau, who joins our science department. We say hello to Mrs. Jackie Perry, who will be teaching computer science and ICT. And we say hello to Mrs. Becky Cook, our new head of music. I'm sure when you get the chance, you'll give them that very warm Moyles Court welcome. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank our incredible PTA, and in particular Jemima Ramtahar. It's not been the easiest of years for anything, really, but the PTA have remained hugely supportive of us as a school, supplying us with activities and funds and ideas for our pupils to enjoy. Thank you to you all for giving up your time for the benefit of our children. A huge thank you as well to Mrs. Jo Greenland, our second-hand uniform specialist and guru. Jo, thank you so much again for giving up so much of your time to help particularly those parents who are joining us for the first time when they come to Moyles. Thank you. It is now time for me to introduce our departing head boy and head girl. Now, once again, this hasn't been an easy time for our Year 11 pupils, and our head boy and head girl have found this last year challenging in lots of different ways as well. Our head boy, Eric, is currently back in China. Eric left early because of the quarantine procedures that he had to go through to get home. And Leah, thankfully, remains here with us, and what a great source of help she has been in the boarding house and with the PE department over these last few weeks. But before I introduce them and their final speeches, just a quick word to all of our Year 11 pupils who are leaving today. You have worked phenomenally hard under incredibly difficult circumstances. As I've written before, exams weren't cancelled this year for those Year 11s. Quite the opposite. These guys sat more assessments than most year groups will ever have to sit. And yet somehow they managed to do it with a smile and with real determination. And I couldn't be prouder of them. I'm excited to introduce and announce their results later on in the summer, and I hope that they get the marks that they so fully deserved. So, ladies and gents, I introduce to you now our departing head boy and head girl, Eric Zhu and Leah Duval.
Good morning, everyone. It is hard to believe I'm leaving Moyles Court as we have reached speech day. I have imagined 1,000 times what my speech would be like, but when it comes to the actual day, I realize there is much more to say than what I could ever have expected. I could still remember my first day in Moyles Court, that it was completely in countryside. There was no shops nor buildings. I could see horses and donkeys everywhere. The school was small and I wasn't sure about the boarding house. But luckily, I soon made quite a few excellent friends, and my life in Moyles Court started to become interesting. What I love the most about Moyles Court is the passion from all the teachers. They encouraged me all the time and guided me through my studies. They never gave up on me, even I did really bad in my PE mock. They tried everything they could, and now I can just say thank you to all the teachers. But I would like to mention a person in particular, my ESOL teacher, Miss Lord Thomas. She is the person who helped me to overcome my language issue and the person who helped me to achieve my goals. It is a shame I couldn't do as much as I supposed in the role of head boy because of the coronavirus pandemic. But I still hope I've been a good head boy. So I still want to say thanks to Mr. Miller-Smith and Mr. Partfield for your trust and all the people who voted for me in the first place. I am leaving Moyles Court with a lot of amazing memories, but I would like to mention one in particular, Act 4 in the backfield, which I promised I would remember in my speech. Leaving Moyles Court means my life is moving to the next chapter, but I'm sure I will never forget where my journey began, and I'll never forget all my friends and teachers here. I've not become the person I am today without Moyles Court, so no matter how far I will go in the future, Moyles Court will always be my second home, because it is the place my dreams started. Thank you.
Good morning. It has to be said that putting together this speech wasn't easy. Firstly, because it's so difficult to sum up what has been such a rollercoaster of a journey. But secondly, I've been told that my speech is to be better than my brother's. Today is an ending to an amazing journey and a huge chapter of my life, but it's also a beginning to a new adventure. I cannot thank my teacher enough for making me who I am today, and thank you to the students for being such amazing friends and so supportive. Moyles Court has been the best experience and one which I will never forget and cherish forever. I'm so grateful for all the teachers that have influenced me to be the best I can, but it'd be impossible not to mention Mrs. Morrison specifically. She's had the pleasure of teaching me PE for the past 9 years. But not only has she influenced my love for PE, she's also supported me in every way possible in all other subjects. Boarding has been such a huge part of my life and definitely the best experience possible. I'm so thankful for all the opportunities I've been given. Miss Kate, I can't quite explain how grateful I am for your help, the laughs, the conversations and the cups of teas that have got me through school. Finishing this speech means the end to an era, but this school will always be a big memory that I can never forget. Thank you to everyone that's helped me get to where I am today. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Leah. Later on this morning, I will be announcing our new head boy and head girl and our new senior pupil leadership team. Myself and Mr. Padfield have had the pleasure of interviewing so many of our Year 9 and Year 10 pupils this week for those positions, and it's reminded us once again just how wonderful our pupils are, and it's left us very excited about the new team that will take up their responsibilities in September. So once again, my congratulations to you all for taking part, and to those of you who are receiving those awards later on this morning. I'm going to leave you now with a poem that I share most years, and once again after this year it just feels even more relevant and poignant than perhaps ever before. It's called Life is Like a Journey on a Train. Life is like a journey on a train, with its stations, its changes of routes and with its accidents. At birth we boarded the train and met our parents, and we believe they will always travel on our side. However, at some station our parents will step down from the train, leaving us on this journey alone. As time goes by, other people will board the train, and they will be significant. Our siblings, our friends, our children, and even the love of our life. Many will step down and leave a permanent vacuum. Others will go so unnoticed that we don't realise that they've even left their seats. This train ride will be full of joy, sorrow, fantasy, expectation, hellos, goodbyes and farewells. But let's not forget, success in life consists of having a good relationship with all the passengers, requiring that we give the best of ourselves at every stage of our journey. The mystery to everyone is we do not know at which station we ourselves will step down. So therefore we must live in the best way, to love, to forgive, and to offer the best of who we are every single day. And so to those of you who are leaving Moyles Court today, I wish you all a very safe journey, wherever that may take you. And thank you for being a passenger on my train. And to the rest of you, I wish you all a wonderful, safe and healthy summer break. And I look forward to starting the next leg of our journey together in September. I wonder where that train ride will take us. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. Thank you once again for all of your support this year. And I wish you all a very happy holiday. Thank you.
We